Welcome to Amir Shakil 5858, the War and Love Report. I am Amir Goodnam. The British government has issued licenses for exploration of oil and gas in the Northern Sea, ignoring calls from the environmental agencies and United Nations to stop developing new fossil fuel projects. Britain Prime Minister justified this move and said UK still need fossil fuel even after it reaches net zero target, and that's better to rely on local production of oil and gas rather than rely on foreign oil and gas. Prime Minister also pointed to the energy crisis due to the Russian war with Ukraine. The new plan also includes a pledge of $20 billion in carbon capture and storage projects. Prime Minister maintains his country is committed to its energy goals. The UK has pledged to reduce its carbon emission by 68% by the end of the decade and reach net zero by 2050. Russian missiles hit President Zelensky's hometown on Monday as Russia accuses Ukraine of bombing the occupied city of Donetsk. ECOWAS leaders give Niger a week to restore president or face the consequences. Russian missiles hit President Zelensky's hometown on Monday, killing 6 people and wounding 75 others, as Russia accuses Ukraine of bombing occupied city of Donetsk. Russian missiles hit an apartment complex and building in university. Rescuers are still searching for the who are trapped under the rubble. This attack came after the Zelensky said that the fighting is coming to the near to the Russian land. Right now, it's not clear that these attacks were in the retaliation of his Mr. Zelensky's statement. And the next vehicles were burned with the dead bodies inside. Russia accuses Ukraine of killing 2 civilians and wounding others in the bombing of Moscow-controlled city. There is no way to verify the claims of both countries. A recent Ukraine counter-offensive has intensified. Last week, drone attacks on Russia on Moscow annexed territory, especially Crimea, have become more frequent. Russia has tightened security in the aftermath of such attacks. Some 800 passengers, mostly Russians, on board a cruise ship are met with protest as their boat arrived in the Georgian Black Sea port of Batumi early on Friday. Hundreds of student members of opposition parties and activists gathered at the port holding signs denouncing Russia war in Ukraine. At least 30 people were arrested. According to agency which runs these cruise ships, announced that it will no longer dock at the Georgian port. Eastern Poland's ancient forests, a traditional destination for the tourist, now bristling with military hardware. Tensions have been ramped up since Russian mercenaries Wagner Group moved into neighboring Belarus. The Ministry of Defense is in addition to the a newly organized military unit In colder, Poland is also reinforcing Grivo and Shemasifa and Cholen, while Poland is preparing and arming for the uh, any assault from the Wagner Group. The tourists are changing their plans as a precautions. The tourist agencies are saying that the number of tourists have cut to half. In Pakistan, 54 people were killed and 200 wounded in a suicide bomb blast which occurred on Sunday night. In the political radio, Mr. Maulana Fazlur Rahman, uh, ally of Taliban, the Islamic State has claimed the responsibility of this bomb blast. Islamic State operate across the border in Afghanistan. There were 20 minors in this fatality. Former Russian president said that there would be no option other than attack if Ukraine is successful. If Ukraine is successful in its NATO-backed counter-offensive. Tens of thousands of Sudanese refugees in Chad are living in very unhumanitarian conditions with no water and toilet facilities in scorching heat. Authority says that there is a little water which is used for drinking, so there is nothing for sanitation and toilet. United States cities, mayors, and Council of National Cities of League of Cities is calling on Congress to pass the Extreme Heat Emergency Act. The bill will add extreme heat and wildfire smoke events to a list of disaster that will allow the factories to get federal grant. The U.S. Justice Department has started a civil rights investigation against Memphis police. Memphis Police Department's brutality against colored people came into light in January when the police pepper sprayed and fatally killed the Nicole Tyner in a traffic stop. The Justice Department says that they have received many reports of police brutality and their bad behavior against the colored people. Therefore, they are reviewing all these applications and taking action against police department. A federal judge has blocked a Arkansas law. Federal judge has blocked an Arkansas law that would allow criminal charges against booksellers and librarians for providing harmful material to children and teens. The laws signed by Republican governor have gone into effect today. The situation in Haiti is very difficult. There is lawlessness. Gangs are ruling all the streets. They really are after the American people. Yesterday, they kidnapped a nurse and her daughter. American government has issued a warning for travelers. Haiti is not good for travel right now, and all Americans who are in Haiti should leave the Haiti at once. That's the uh, travel advisory from American government. All diplomatic Americans are also coming out of the Haiti now. Uh, so now international police force is taking place in Haiti, but right now they are, according to economic experts, the U.S. economy is going strong. The inflation is decreasing. It is at 3%, but not the requirement of the Fed, which wanted to be 2%. Barbie is going successful. On this weekend, it has earned $93 million in U.S. theaters. This is the first movie in the world over has grossed more than $1 billion and is the first movie which is directed by the woman. Oppenheimer and Haunting Mansion are also showing strong revenues. In Las Vegas, the rapper Cardi was hit by an object which was thrown by an audience. The Cardi also threw hit him the person with his mic. There are series of incidents have taken place in the show business where spectators are hitting the performers with something. The clashes broke out in the largest Palestinian refugee camp in Lebanon between two groups. At least 6 people died. Both groups tried to kill their leader. In this close, 6 people died. Still, sporadic firing is going on in the refugee camp. There was a bomb blast in northwestern Pakistan in a political rally of Mr. Maulana Fazlur Rahman. At least 45 people have been killed and 100 are injured. Nobody claimed responsibility, but people suspect that the Islamic State operating across the border in Afghanistan is the responsible organization for this bomb blast. A Holocaust survivor found a book of her younger brother. This book was a school book signed by her younger brother after 80 years. They were in Hungary, and she was also the prisoner in that camp. She was at that time was 12 years old and the boy was 10 years old. She is very happy to find a school book of her younger brother who is dead, but she is still alive. International Olympic Committee IOC has sent invitation to the all countries of the world for Olympic Games participation, but they didn't send invitation to Russia and Belarus because they have invaded Ukraine. They may change their decision in spring 2024, but right now they are considering that they allow them these two countries to take part with the neutral uniform for the players, which don't show that they belong to Russia or Belarusia. High temperatures are taking their toll on every living thing. Today I'll talk about the animals. US government is providing cooling shelters for the pet animals. In zookeepers are taking extra precautions and giving the cold and ice and freezing environments to the animals which require. Otherwise they will die. Sunday edition of Democracy Now! Hasn't come yet. ECOWAS ordered coup leader to cede power within a week or face extreme sanctions and possible use of force. The US Supreme Court has cleared the way for construction of the contested Mountain Valley Pipeline. To resume, the court on Thursday lifted a halt on a section of the project that had been issued by a lower court earlier this month after a challenge by environmental groups. I am thankful to all news resources for their continuous cooperation. I am also thankful to the viewers for their privilege of time. Have a good night.